radio, or y'all doing video cast? What y'all doing?
So there is a YouTube channel. It's I don't know if it's Conway Baseball YouTube or if it's Wampus
Because
Tavern.
I like to share all this stuff with our families.
David,
Baseball? Okay, perfect. I got it.
And radio as well. If they get it on, they simulcast our radio broadcast over
there. Okay. Over
So,
the, yeah, awesome.
but if they want to just do radio, we're Cat Country 98.9, 92.5.
Cat 98.
98.9.
Can I take a picture of just your emblem?
For sure.
Alright, anything else?
That's it.
Alright, thank you.
For your help.
Yes.
Get away to where the boat is from. It takes away a lot of big problems. You can worries, you can drop them in the blue ocean. But you gotta get away to where the boat is from. So get away to where the boat is from. It takes away a lot of big problems. You can worries, you can drop them in the blue ocean. But you gotta get away to where the so get away to where the boat is from. It takes away a lot of big problems. You can worries, you can drop them in the blue ocean. But you gotta get away to where the boat is from. Pick me up. Pick me up. Put me down. Put me down. I gotta go. Pick me up. Pick me up.
Go Dogs! Woo!
I woke up again this morning, and when you know it, for it rained, I went and burned the power
What are you doing, sis?
and I guess I poured it down the drain, 'cause I didn't know I needed you so, and then you go. And baby, I know you got your radio on, so this is that song. I know I said I wouldn't miss you, but now I said I would.
Ooh, that one crushed. Gone. Bye-bye. Max Holland is back. That ball crushed. Left field. Way back to the wall. Ball game. Walk-off 3-run bomb for Carter Crow.
3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts for Owen Davenport. Swung on hard out to left field. It's back. It's gone. Sean Cover, 3-run home run. 2-pitch from Billett. Gets him swinging for out number 3.
Hit well to deep center. It's caught. What a catch in center field by London Stewart.
1-2 from Cicero, rings them up, strikes out the side. Swung on hard into left center field, and that's going to do it. A walk-off double for Cover wins the game for your Wampus Cats.
Hit high to the right side, easily underneath it, and the Conway Wampus Cats are 6A Central Conference champions.
Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5 is proud to be home of the Centennial Bank broadcasts of Conway Wampus Cat Sports, presented by Chris Crane Hyundai. Join Eric King and J.R. Runyon as we follow the Conway Wampus Cats all season long. Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5 Sports, brought to you in part by Centennial Bank, Chris Crane Hyundai, Baptist Health, Haynes Ace Hardware, Dyer Mark, Arkansas Eye Care Group, Conway Regional Health, and is driven by Genesis of Conway. It's time for the Centennial Bank broadcast of Conway Wampus Cat Sports. Now, let's join Eric King and the radio voice of Conway Sports, J.R. Runyon, for the call of tonight's action on Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5.
Well, I'm going to say good morning, but it won't be long until we reach afternoon. Hello there, J.R. Runyon, Eric King, and our baseball expert, Mr. Jeff Wicks, joining us here today, as we've got the whole crew ready to go for today's matchup in the semifinals of the 6A baseball tournament, Centennial Bank baseball tournament here at the Janus Memorial Field. It's a little warmer than yesterday, Jeff.
It is a lot warmer, and hey, the sun's out. You can see the sky. You see the blue sky. But yeah, it's going to be a little toasty on the field. Luckily, we are under shade here, so we'll be protected from any sunburns.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Fayetteville Purple Dogs. It'll be number 5, Ken Pascal, playing second base, leading off. Landon Schaefer will be at shortstop, hitting in the 2-hole. Jason Delamar will be playing in center field and hitting third. It is Landon Holzauer who will be behind the plate. In the cleanup position, Mark Brissy will be pitching and designated hitter. Also, Charlie Graves will be playing right field. And then it'll be Tanner Davison at third, and Jude Reyna at first base, and Carter Morris will be in left field. For your Conway Wampus Cats today, Thomas Ford will be leading things off in a very familiar position, a very effective position for the Wampus Cats this season. He'll be the designated hitter. Sean Covers behind the plate today has Max Holland will move out onto the mound to start things off. Willie Voss will be at first base, Blake Kornsmeyer in the left field, Carter Crow in right field, London Stewart in center field, and then the number 8 hitter will be Silas Cicero, who plays shortstop when Sean Covers behind the plate, and then Malik Simpson will be at third base here today, getting the start with Kean Brown, not in the batting order, but he will be playing second base. So we are going to have our national anthem opening ceremonies, and we will come back with today's semifinals next here on Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5.
Your home is your palace, an extension of you, and the first impression of your home starts on the outside. Durden Landscape and Supply knows how important it is to have the outside of your home reflect your image and style. At Durden Landscape and Supply, you will find multiple choices of mulch, decorative river rock, garden soil, landscape stone, crushed rock, and culverts up to 48 inches. Plus, at Durden, you can take advantage of their great 3D rendering design tools so you can see the future of your project before you break ground. Durden Landscape and Supply helps you break ground with integrity in design, products, and the expertise to set your castle apart from all the rest. Learn more at DurdenLandscapes.com or come by 50 Stanford Road on the west side of Highway 65 at the Flats. Durden Landscape and Supply, the supplies and expertise for the do-it-yourselfer, as well as the team to do the complete job for you. Breaking ground with integrity for your castle every day. Durden Landscape and Supply also offers statewide delivery, along with veteran and contractor discounts. DurdenLandscapes.com.
Conway Regional has been the community's hospital for 100 years, providing high-quality, compassionate care. As our community continues to grow, we're growing alongside you to ensure all your healthcare needs are met right here in Conway. When your family needs emergency care, you can trust our board-certified providers to provide you with the comprehensive care you deserve when you need it most. When you're facing an emergency, trust the care you'll find down the hallway, not down the highway. At Conway Regional, we're not just growing, we're growing together.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's red hot deal time at Haynes Ace Hardware in Conway and Morrilton. The best barbecue in town is at Haynes Ace Hardware. Everything you need for the perfect barbecue. Grills, supplies like grilling pellets, seasonings, and more. Get your yard and landscape ready with mulch. Ace Rewards members save $1.60 per bag on Scott's Naturescape Color Enhanced Mulch. Now 3 bags for $9.99. Get spring and summer ready at Haynes Ace Hardware in Morrilton and Conway. Haynes Ace Hardware, the helpful place.
KVOM AM Morrilton, K244FP Morrilton, 92.5 FM, and 98.9 K255DN Conway.
Arkansas's best country. This is country.
And welcome back here as the three amigos are here this afternoon and returning to the scene of the crime 10 years ago.
Wow.
It's hard to believe it. It's been that long ago since that game. We were just looking at those notes. And, of course, it was the game against Catholic that we're talking about, that extra inning affair where Jordan Wicks, a walk-off single to give Conway the victory. And man, what an atmosphere here today as we get ready for this ball game with Fayetteville and Conway. And again, both sides of the fans of the stands are full for what promises to be a great turn of events here.
Well, I tell you what, this is a game that everybody thought we'd see in the finals at UCA, but just because of some unfortunate, I guess, news and unfortunate play of Fayetteville, they found themselves getting the 2 spot in that conference. So it's going to be exciting, that's for sure.
Well, it is going to be a great matchup here, and to start things off for the Wampus Cats on the mound, as we mentioned earlier, it'll be Max Holland, and so that twists the tail, as it were, just a little bit.
Yeah, and again, you got a kid out there that's committed to the Razorbacks, and we've seen him from behind the plate, we've seen him at shortstop, we've seen him on the mound. This team right here is loaded with talent. Not only we talk about offensively how good they are, but not only offensively, Jay, but defensively, and from that mound, it's a good Wampus Cat team.
Jeff, your impressions from yesterday, what happened with Conway with 3 home runs? How does that carry over in today's game?
We nicknamed Sean Cover and Max Allen the Bash Brothers, and Sean carried that through yesterday. I think they got to be really careful with those guys because he's proven that he can hit a home run just about in any situation of the game. So I think they got to be real careful, who they're pitching to, how they pitch to them. And Conway's got to take advantage of, walks and hit batters. They get on base, they got to get them home, which they typically do.
So Ken Pascal will lead things off for the day's ball game for Fayetteville. He is the second baseman, and we're about ready here for our first pitch from Max Holland. And that is taken inside for ball 1. Now, as we have alluded to many times, there is a lot of history between these two schools, no matter what it is that you're talking about. That's going to be fouled back here to the fence for strike 1.
Yeah, we were reminded that 10 years ago today, Conway played Fayetteville when Jordan and Jack and them were all freshmen in Fayetteville, and the controversial check swing to end the game. So a lot of history.
That pitch finds the strike zone.
Right there had a little movement on it. He come from the top with that one.
So Max Holland gets ahead of Pascal here, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, and that is almost a little chin music. If he hadn't ducked his head back and decided, you know what, I don't mind getting hit, but I don't want to get hit in the jaw.
No, exactly.
No, even though he's got that
Yeah.
Chin protector.
It's still going to jaw him a little bit.
You still want to turn your head. He just tilted his head back, which is still going to clip your chin.
And that's going to be hit foul out of play. Now it's 2-2. I was going to say that should just be a 2-2 count. And they had full count up on the board, and I'm going, wait a minute, did I miss a pitch? I know it's early, but.
There's a lot of space behind that right fielder out there.
Yep. All right, it's a 2-2 pitch for Max Holland for the Wampus Cats. And that one will take the count to full.
He tried to put a little bit more giddy up on that one. It kind of got away from him.
Put a little juice on it. So Pascal, Schaefer, and De Lamar, the first three hitters due up here for the Bulldogs here in the top of the first. Conway, the home team, has the 1 seed. And down to first base with a high pitch. Ken Pascal with a leadoff walk.
Take first base on balls with 1 runner on. No outs on the board. Now batting for Fayetteville.
So number 24, Landon Schaefer will come to the plate. The shortstop for the Bulldogs here today.
At the middle of the infield. 1, 2, 3 for them. Second baseman, shortstop, and center fielder.
Yeah. That middle quadrant. That's going to be fouled out of play. 0-1 the count.
Started him off with a bender.
All of a sudden, my lack of food hit me here. I'm going to get a little pretzel in the mouth after this next pitch.
You've been on the road today.
Just a bit. And that's going to be a hard hit on the elbow protector. And Conway will have the first two, or Fayetteville will have the first two hitters on board with nobody out here in the top of the first. Max let that pitch get a little away from him. Now, we haven't seen Max a lot on the mound this season.
No outs on the board and runners at first and second base.
Now we're having a conversation between the
number 10, Jason
umpires.
What could they possibly be talking about?
They don't realize that.
He's talking about coming set. One umpire motioned with his hands that he's not coming set. Oh, no. He's got a wristband on. That highly distractive wristband.
Yeah, probably something with his girlfriend's name on it. Now he's got to take it off, so she's going to be mad now.
All right, so here we go.
Whatever makes him throw a little bit better right here.
Yeah, maybe
get a couple strikes in here.
So runners at first and second, nobody out. De Lamar at the plate. Squares to bunt, pulls it back. A throw down to second by Cover is not in time out there to.
That had a little tail on it at the end.
And he may be overthrown just a little bit. Take a little bit off and throw some strikes.
1 ball, no strikes. That's going to be bunted back to the mound. Sacrifice advances runners into scoring position at second and third in the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Landon Holzhauer.
And advances runners to second and third base. Now batting for Fayetteville, number 4, Landon Holzhauer.
Holzhauer will come to the plate. Runners in scoring position. Fayetteville trying to get something going here in this first inning. Fayetteville defeated Bryant yesterday to advance to this game. Swing. Not sure there was foul contact, or apparently there was.
Yeah.
Thought I heard that metal ping. I knew he swung, but. So Holland will get ahead of him here, 0-1. That pitch is down low, ball 1.
We talked about it yesterday, the amount of real estate behind home plate, and it's really important for Sean to block a ball in the dirt here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like there's just enough room. And, of course, anything caroms off of there, that carom could cause trouble or help. Depending on how it comes off. Speaking of off, Max Holland comes off of the.
You look at that also at first and third as well. There's lots of real estate behind those bags, and if a ball gets away.
We saw that yesterday and worked to Conway's favor. Blake Kordsmeyer turned a single into 3 bags. Trying a little deception move there. The throw to second after a fake to third.
You don't see that every day.
Oh, I have a feeling for both these teams, it's leave nothing in the bag.
No, yeah.
The 1-1 pitch and second hit batter of the ball game below the bases with one out.
And tailed on him a little bit too.
Be interesting, and Coach Harden will come out to talk to his pitcher here. Second hit batsman along with a walk, and the bags are loaded with one out, and
Ladies and gentlemen, your
Martin
attention,
Brisky will
please.
come
If you
to
happen
the
be
plate.
missing your cell phone, please check with the front gate desk.
If you're missing your cell phone, call it and see where it is.
Eric?
I got mine here. I've got
I got both mine, so I'm good. So first conversation on the bump here for Conway with the bases loaded and one out. Max Holland making the start here today.
You got to think they're going to play him in just a little bit and try to get this runner. You definitely don't want to give up a run. So,
yeah. Sorry. All right. So the bags are loaded. Martin Brisky, the designated hitter and pitcher today.
19, Mark Brisky.
Looks like he's got a good upper body there.
He's a big boy, isn't he?
He is. See if he overswings or if Conway can get him to swing at some bad pitches here. A little 6-4-3 double play would be nice. That pitch is in there for strike one.
Is this the kid that pitched against Conway last year? Or?
I do not know the answer to that.
I know they pitched a kid last year that was committed to the Razorbacks, but I didn't know if he was a senior or junior.
Good block there by Cover behind the plate.
Catcher to catcher. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Thanks
Exactly.
so much.
Thanks, man. 1-1 the count, one out. Fayetteville on the top of the first inning. No score on the board, but with runners at all three corners. That pitch does not get the call. And the count goes to 2-1.
You'd like to think they'd help you out just a little bit since you're struggling some, but
yeah. Two balls, one strike. The pitch. Hit right to Brown.
First.
Got him at second, the double play to get out of the inning. Great job by Ken Brown. Silas Cicero covering second. The double play leaves runners on board and nobody across. What a play.
I tell you what, Max Holland better reach over there and give Cicero a great big hug because that's knowing where everybody's at on the field. Great job there by the Wampus Cats.
So, no damage, no hits. Woo. Two left on board. We'll come back with the bottom of the first after this on the EAB Sports Network.
The community of Conway continues to be committed to the Wampus Cats, just as Centennial is committed to our customers. Perseverance, commitment, and resilience are key ingredients for success. Whether you are cheering on the Wampus Cats, starting a new business, or planning for the future, Centennial is here for all of life's moments. Let us be your partner. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
When you choose Conway Regional, you're choosing more than exceptional care. You're choosing a healthcare provider deeply rooted in your community, where our doctors and staff are your neighbors and friends. With 9 primary care locations in 5 counties, we believe in building lasting relationships centered on trust and personalized care. Take control of your healthcare journey with us as your dedicated partner. Schedule your appointment today and let our family care for yours.
Now, back to the Centennial Bank broadcast of Conway Wampus Cat Sports, driven by Genesis of Conway on Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5.
Well, what a way to end an inning. Bases were loaded for Fayetteville with one out. Fayetteville pitcher at the plate. A line drive that was picked off of the dirt by Ken Brown at second base. A quick flip to Silas Cicero covering the back. Had a double play. Gets the Cats out of the inning with no hits and no runs scored against them. Now you got to see if you can use that momentum and that energy that comes out of that great defensive play and turn it into offense.
Well, it's got to be a little bit of a good push for them to you look up, you hit 2 batters, and it's not like they came up just tearing the cover off the ball. I mean, They had some freebies in that area. So,
well, and Jeff, you always talk about, taking advantage of opportunities, and Conway kind of stole that opportunity back from Fayetteville.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was such a great play, as you said, but, not only for second base, but, Cicero playing shortstop to be aware enough to get to the bag.
Yeah.
Because you could get caught looking.
Thomas Ford to lead things off for the Wampus Cats. I wouldn't hesitate to say this, or I wouldn't hesitate to say this. Certainly one of the top leadoff men that the Wampus Cats have seen in this position, as he has been very productive this season. He looks at a called strike 1. Thomas Ford had a great day yesterday. That's had some speed and angle on it as it angles off of the
that right there hit solid on that pole.
Solid on that pole.
Yeah.
I think my ear's still ringing too.
Probably damaged that ball.
So 0-2 to count to Thomas Ford, Wampus Cats leadoff hitter. That's in there for a called strike 3. 3 pitches, first out. That'll bring Sean Cover to the plate. Cover with 2 home runs yesterday, a solo shot and a 3-run shot.
And I'm going to say probably one of the best hitters in the state.
Oh,
hands down.
No question.
These three
Yep.
right here for Conway.
First pitch to Cover, up high, ball 1. Don't have a gun on it, but I can tell you he's throwing some heat out there.
Yeah, that's at minimum high 80s, maybe even low 90s.
Strike call on Cover. Not sure if he called the check swing or if he called the pitch, but
I think it was a swing.
I think so too. 1-1 the count. That pitch is away.
Yeah, that was a nice slider. Had about a 8-inch break on it.
2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out in the inning. Sean Cover, we're in the bottom of the first, no score. Varsity shakes off, now agrees to the pitch call, and sets up and in, and the count goes to 3-1 to Sean Cover.
That came in there a little tight, too.
Came in there and said hello.
The 3-1 pitch outside. They walk Sean Cover. I'm not going to say that was an intentional walk, but that was a very protective at bat there.
Yeah, he didn't give him anything middle in.
They kept it away from him for sure.
Number 4, Max Holland.
So Max Holland will come to the plate, and courtesy runner for today's catcher, Sean Cover.
Entering the game to run for Conway, number 6, Jackson Robinette.
So Jackson Robinette, the courtesy runner here for Sean Cover in the bottom of the first. Gas with their first base runner. Max Holland, a part of this Bash Brothers Murderers Row that Conway has at the top of the lineup.
Kind of interesting. I mean, where do you pick a spot to pitch around somebody? I mean,
yeah. That's what makes this lineup so tough for Conway. Since that one high, is it going to stay in play? And it will not. He kept tracking over there like he thought maybe it would have a chance, but Conway hitting as a team .394 coming into yesterday's game, and I think that certainly didn't go far off of that with the production yesterday of the Wampus Cats. I think they had, 11 hits that they ended up with? 11 or 12?
11 hits.
11 hits, 12 runs. So 0-1 the count to Max Holland. Jackson Robinette at first as a courtesy runner for Sean Cover. He gets back on the throw over.
Tell you what, that gets by him back there. Robinette's got some speed. He can get by him a little bit, he can end up getting 2.
That's what we saw with Kortsmeyer yesterday on turned a single into 3 bags with the ball just getting away from the first baseman. Pitch is outside to Holland. Count goes to 1-1.
See a pattern forming here. It's like I'm going to give you one fastball.
And that's it.
And then you're getting sliders off the plate. But you can't blame them. Heck, I wouldn't want to pitch these guys.
Mm-hmm. So runner at first, 1 out. Max Holland at the plate, the number 3 hitter for Conway. Ooh, that missed.
That might have been inside a little bit, but it looked good from right here.
Yeah. Must have broke late, because by the time he got to the mid, it looked like it was centered. Curved around that plate, so it didn't actually cross the black. Robinette starts to go and now does go, and the pitch is fouled off. The count goes to 2-2 on Max Holland.
2-1's a great count for that hit and run, and I think that's what we saw right there. And
got to jump and then made sure the contact was going to be made. As soon as they heard contact, went in and ran, but the contact went foul, so back to first base is Robinette. 2-2 the count, 1 out. Runner at first for Conway. Bottom of the first and no score on the board. Swung and a miss, strikes out Max Holland. That's not something that happens often.
That's a little that high heat right there. It's come get you some of this. And he, like you said, Jeff, he broke a couple off on him, and then.
Yeah, that's typical when you got a guy that likes to swing the bat. You get a couple strikes on him and throw one high up in the zone. It's so hard to lay off those high fastballs.
So Willie Voss will come to the plate with 2 outs now in the inning. And a runner at first still in Jackson Robinette. Willie hits one hard, but not very deep. Center field was under there for the 3rd out of the inning. So we're through 1, no score on the board. Back after this on the EAB Sports Network.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's red hot deal time at Haynes Ace Hardware in Conway and Morrilton. The best barbecue in town is at Haynes Ace Hardware. Everything you need for the perfect barbecue. Grills, supplies like grilling pellets, seasonings, and more. Get your yard and landscape ready with mulch. Ace Rewards members save $1.60 per bag on Scott's Naturescape Color Enhanced Mulch. Now 3 bags for $9.99. Get spring and summer ready at Haynes Ace Hardware in Morrilton and Conway. Haynes Ace Hardware, the helpful place.
The Baptist Health Surgical and Specialty Clinic Conway provides expert surgical care close to home. Whether it is hernia repair, gallbladder removal, bariatrics, trauma treatment, or wound care, we are the trusted hands that care for you. Our team of exceptional physicians and compassionate staff offers a broad range of general surgical procedures from the state's largest and most trusted healthcare provider, and it's all right here in Conway. Trusted hands, surgical expertise, Baptist Health Surgical and Specialty Clinic Conway. Call 501-329-1415 to schedule your appointment today.
Now, back to the Centennial Bank broadcast of Conway Wampus Cat Sports, driven by Genesis of Conway on Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5.
And welcome back. We go to the top of the 2nd inning. All right, let's see if the defensive help there for the Wampus Cats helps out Max Holland as he gets ready to. That's interesting. Looking at something on my clock going, how did I not notice that? 26 games into the season.
I was talking to these PBR guys back here, and they said that kid from Fayetteville is 91, 94, and he transferred in from Batesville.
Oh, okay.
NIL money.
Yeah.
Fayetteville, the home of it.
And he is committed to the Razorbacks.
All right, so we're ready to play here at the top of the 2nd inning.
So the 2 starting pitchers today are committed to the Razorbacks.
They're going to be playing together today. They face each other. Leading things off, and then a high bouncer. Over the first in time, though, for the put out by Keem Brown. That was a high bouncer. That had a lot of opportunity to be trouble just because of the height of that pitch, or height of that hit from Chad Graves.
Yeah. That kid had been a little quicker.
I think so.
He might have run that out.
I thought he was pretty fast myself.
Tanner Davison to the plate now, the third baseman for Fayetteville here today with one out. Highlands pitch outside, ball one.
Of course, not to compare him, but between us three, anybody's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I do fast is drink my drinks. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Holland.
Holland's got that little hop at the end of his pitch out there today.
A little bit of effort, a little extra effort.
It's the heat. It's got to heat it up.
Keep the ball over the plate.
We're not at least going to check it?
Guess not. 2-1 count. Davison at the plate here for Fayetteville. That was going to be fouled back.
I think you had that in Jay.
I had it. I was ready. You saw the hand come up. Of course, I think maybe the computer might have stopped it, but
the computer would have been toast if it would have.
Yeah, we'd have been done.
Yeah, we've been like, thanks for joining us here today, folks. I'd had to switch to the phone to control things. 2-2 count. Fouled off, out of play.
These pitches are breaking just a little late for him there.
I'd almost like to see Max get rid of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
He separates and brings the ball back in. That's, what do I know?
That one's fouled off. Davison stays alive. The question I think is going to be here today is, Max is not one that you traditionally start in a ball game this season. He's been primarily behind the plate. Of course, spent a lot of the season just recovering from injuries that shortened his actual playing time for Conway. And that's hit hard down the left field line. That'll be at least two into the corner. Now the throw comes out of the corner, and it'll be a one-out double for Davison as he took that to left field. Gorgemeyer out there. I thought for a second that was going to stay frozen underneath the fence, but he was able to get it off and get it back into play.
He hit that one on the nose right there.
Yeah, you could hear that contact. Of course, with 3 mics open today, I'm hearing more things than normal.
Yeah.
So. All right, so that'll bring Jude Reyna to the plate.
We better be ready for the.
Swing and a miss. Strike one. Reyna playing first base for Fayetteville today, hitting from the left side. Pitch up just a little high, tried to get him to chase.
He almost did. He almost bit on that one.
He did. He thought about it. But I always like a batter that comes to the plate ready to hit.
Yeah.
Just has that mindset, I'm looking to hit. Used to tell my boys coaching, always go to the plate ready to hit. I don't care what the situation is.
Yeah.
I may tell you to take a strike, but be ready to hit. If it's your pitch.
I couldn't take much.
1-1 the count. One out, runner at second. It's going to be hit hard to the left side, but foul. The count go 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I was bailing on the curveball and swinging as hard as I could on fastball.
Hey, got you into college ball.
Well, yeah.
Per se.
Yeah, 1 year. And Dad says, come home, son.
All right, 1-2 the count. One out. Runner at second base. No score here. We're in the top of the second. And that's going to be fouled off, and the bat goes flying out of the hand of the hitter.
I have played on this field a few times, though. We
get a little sticky.
Play out here with in Legion baseball, and Dujanis was a very good team from Little Rock, Thompson Electric, and some of those guys. When Coach Luters and Coach Boucher coached us.
All right, the 1-2 count again. Pitch from Holland. Up high, ball 2.
This whole place has changed since those days.
Great facility. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at second. Number 8 hitter Reyna at the plate. Max Holland's 2-2 pitch, up high, the count goes full. See Sean Cobra out there coaching him. Just throw me strikes, buddy.
I don't think he's letting it go too high.
I think they're hoping to get 2 or 3 innings out of.
That's what I started to kind of think about earlier, is how much work do they want to get out of Holland today. There's a swing and a miss. We'll take strikeout. Bring up the number 9 hitter, Carter Morris. Yeah, you chase a pitch up high, and almost like that rise ball I talked about yesterday.
You feel a little emotion on that one.
Yeah, that's that high heat with 2 strikes, and hard to, in the history of baseball, that pitch has been hard to lay off.
Yep. Eric knows all about that.
Oh, you ain't going to hit it unless you swing, guys. I've always been told that.
All right, so 2 outs. Runner at second. Number 9 hitter Morris at the plate. First pitch well outside, ball 1. Count goes to 2-0. Another pitch pretty much in the same location.
Come on now, bend at the waist.
Yeah, he is. He's letting it go high. I think Coach is fixing.
I think what you don't want to do.
Oh, he's shaking him.
Yeah. I saw him sending, I don't know who that. He sent somebody in.
Trying to tell who that is walking out there.
Is it 5?
Malik Simpson.
So 6.
That's Robinette.
Yeah, 6. He's going to left field.
He's going to go to left field. And they're going to bring London Stewart in. That's what it looks like. Yeah, London Stewart has come in from center field. So Blake Kordsmeyer will go to center. Max Holland will. Surprised that Max doesn't go behind the plate.
Well, he's not changing yet, so.
Between innings, maybe.
Maybe. So the Fayetteville coach getting instructions on what's happened here.
I wonder if he's going to short or third, Max.
Imagine he goes to short.
Yeah.
Because then that way at the inning, he'll swap off with Cover.
For the Conway Wampus Cats. Now pitching number 14, London Stewart.
I know, we'll have to see.
A lot of things they can do out there with these guys.
Yep. So London Stewart will come in relief with a 2-0 count and 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Number 9 hitter Carter Morris at the plate. Starting to say what you don't want to do is you don't want to go to the top of the lineup with runners at first and second. And after 2 balls being thrown, I think that Coach Harden felt like this was the time to make the move to get Stewart out there on the rubber.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stressful situation coming in, and you're inheriting a hitter with 2 balls on, so you don't have a lot of margin for error.
Stewart has been called upon in this situation. We've seen it a couple times this season. So it's not an unfamiliar position. Now, like you say, is it comfortable? Not the most comfortable, but I think it was the Bentonville game. Is it Bentonville? Yes, I believe it was the Bentonville game that was played over at Russellville that he came in kind of in the same situation. and was able to shut him down. And they went on to pitch, I believe, 3 innings in that game. So don't quote me on that, because I've married a daughter off and slept a little bit since that game.
A little bit, yeah. Let's put an emphasis on that a little bit.
You got your average, didn't you? About 4 hours?
Yeah, I got my average. I'm hitting for average today. So, all right, so here we go. Carter Morris will be at the plate with two outs.
Nice pitch.
Well, if we can hit that outside corner as a lefty against the lefty,
gotta like it.
You like your odds.
And that's down in the dirt. Cover blocks it, but runner still advances.
1.07 coming into today. Stewart was with an ERA.
So 3-1 the count. To Morris, the number 9 hitter. Conway trying to get out of the inning again. That's going to be hit to second base, and we'll go into score the first run of the ball game. Keem Brown just couldn't get over there. So the first run of the ball game scores as Davison comes around to score from third, and that's again one of those situations where the pass ball or the ball that got away from Cover results in the run. Otherwise, he's just advanced down to third on that particular scenario. So back to the top of the lineup we'll go with Kim Pascal, who led the game off with a walk, correct?
He did.
One run's not going to beat the Cats, so.
No. Good block by Cover that time. Ball 1. Temperature issue with our hard line here, so I'm going to let it cool off and try to connect here to this. Not affecting the broadcast, but swing and a miss. Strike 2.
That was a real pretty slider. Started right on the outside corner and broke off about 6 inches. The guy swung a sword at it.
Sword at it. Came down just a little bit late.
Yeah, that was a pretty pitch, but it was high.
Runner goes. Throw down.
Nope.
Not in time. Just a little bit behind him.
That was pretty close to being batter interference there.
Yeah, he kind of rolled over in his way.
Saying he didn't give him a whole lot of room, right?
Didn't give him much.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll get him out of the inning. But 1 run scores on a couple of hits. And after an inning and a half, it's 1-0 Fayetteville. Back after this on the EAB Sports Network.
Your home is your palace, an extension of you, and the first impression of your home starts on the outside. Dirt Landscape and Supply knows how important it is to have the outside of your home reflect your image and style. At Dirt Landscape and Supply, you will find multiple choices of mulch, decorative river rock, garden soil, landscape stone, crushed rock, and culverts up to 48 inches. Plus, at Dirt, you can take advantage of their great 3D rendering design tools so you can see the future of your project before you break ground. Dirt Landscape and Supply helps you break ground with integrity in design, products, and the expertise to set your castle apart from all the rest. Learn more at dirtandlandscapes.com or come by 50 Stanford Road on the west side of Highway 65 at the Flats. Dirt and Landscape and Supply, the supplies and expertise for the do-it-yourselfer, as well as the team to do the complete job for you. Breaking ground with integrity for your castle every day. Dirt and Landscape and Supply also offers statewide delivery, along with veteran and contractor discounts. dirtandlandscapes.com.
Now, back to the Centennial Bank broadcast of Conway Wampus Cat Sports, driven by Genesis of Conway on Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5.
All right, welcome back here. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, Blake Kortzmeyer will lead things off, followed up by Carter Crow and London Stewart in the 5, 6, 7 positions for the Cats. You know, and Jeff, you alluded to this yesterday. Conway was very productive in the bottom half of the order.
They were. The bottom half of the lineup scored more than half the runs. I'd like to see that trend continue.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see these guys be patient at the plate, too.
Make him work into some numbers. Pitch is away, ball 1 to Kortzmeyer.
He only threw 14 pitches in the first inning, so that's not very many. You got to make this guy work.
Of course, we talked about that yesterday. Conway produced, 6 runs on first pitches?
Yeah.
So they jumped on him, but did not get into the pitch count very deep. There's a swing and a miss on a rise ball, as it were. Blake Kortzmeyer on the high heat. 2-1 count. The pitch that's going to be off of the plate for ball 3. 3-1 the count to Blake Kortzmeyer. 1-0 Fayetteville. Bottom of the second inning. That's well outside of the zone, and down to first base will go Blake Kortzmeyer, or should I say down to first base and maybe soon second base. Blake Kortzmeyer.
That's the thing to say. Keeping him in tow in one spot's going to be hard to do.
Carter Crow will come to the plate, giving nobody out and running at first. Conway gets the leadoff man on board here.
Crow batting .435 for Conway this year.
He had a big 3-run shot against Enid, Oklahoma earlier in the season for the walk-off. Looks at a called strike to start this at bat.
Can't really blame him for that one because he struggled a little bit with that first batter.
He's wanted to come back and assert himself. The 0-1 pitch. That catches the outside corner call. All right, Carter, you know what he's going to throw now. Going to try to get you a swing at a pitch, but make sure it's a good pitch if you swing. The 0-2 count. Kortzmeyer's going. A swing and a miss, and Kortzmeyer is safe. Has to go back to the bat. Wait a minute. They're going to call batter interference. Is that what they're calling?
Wow.
Saying that after the strikeout, he got into the path of the catcher, who was trying to make the throw to second base, and so 2 outs. As Kortzmeyer is called out as second on batter interference. So now there's 2 outs and nobody on board. We'll check swing to the left side of the infield, and that's going to end the inning. 1-0 after 2. Back after this on Cat Country and the EAB Sports Network.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's red hot deal time at Haynes Ace Hardware in Conway and Morrilton. The best barbecue in town is at Haynes Ace Hardware. Everything you need for the perfect barbecue. Grills, supplies like grilling pellets, seasonings, and more. Get your yard and landscape ready with mulch. Ace Rewards members save $1.60 per bag on Scott's Naturescape Color Enhanced Mulch. Now 3 bags for $9.99. Get spring and summer ready at Haynes Ace Hardware in Morrilton and Conway. Haynes Ace Hardware, the helpful place.
Spring is about to be in full swing, and your events deserve to shine. Whether it's a golf tournament, charity gala, or corporate gathering, Dyer Mark has the premium products to make it unforgettable. From custom golf gear to unique giveaways, we'll work with you to design items that leave a lasting impression. Elevate your event with Dyer Mark, where quality meets creativity. Let's make this season one to remember. Visit DYERMARK.com or call 501-513-9000 to create something extraordinary together.
Now, back to the Centennial Bank broadcast of Conway Wampus Cat Sports, driven by Genesis of Conway on Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5.
Well, we saw Blake Korchmeyer trying to make the move to second base, but then he was called out on catcher's interference. Or not catcher's interference, excuse me, batter interference. Offensive interference. Offensive pass interference, right?
Yeah, that's right. 10 yards and
London Stewart on the mound. Max Holland does move behind the plate, and out to shortstop goes Sean Cover. Checking, I think that Cicero has moved to third. He did. So Cicero moved to third base. Willie Voss remains at first base. Korchmeyer had moved to center field. Jackson Robinette to the left field. Carter Crow stays in right field. So there's your defensive setup here as we go to the top half of the third inning. Fayetteville holding a 1-0 lead. And at the plate, the number 2 hitter, Landon Schaefer, got hit by a pitch in the last inning. Looks at a called strike to start this at bat. And that one's going to be inside for ball 1. Mark Buffalo listening in today.
Who?
Mr. Buff. 2-1 the count. Leadoff man here in the top of the third. Does not get the strike call in the outside corner, and it goes to 3-1 count on Schaefer. Again, hit by pitch in his last trip. Back in the first inning. And he'll get a walk here to lead things off at the top of the third.
The batter takes first base on balls. Now batting for Fayetteville, number 10.
So to bring to the plate.
Jason
Jason DeLamar, who also got hit by pitch.
he did.
Yeah, I thought there was a koozie he had in the back of his pocket, but that's his oven mitt. That's his
Sliding mitt.
No, DeLamar sacrifice bunted.
That's right. First pitch is up high for ball 1. See, I knew I wasn't always right. At least I know that.
You mean well, though.
I try. I do my best. That's in there for a strike.
Got to get back on track here.
1-1 the count. Nobody out. Runner at first base. I'll throw a leadoff walk is Landon Schaefer. Soft toss over to first base.
That was his B move.
Yeah, that was his I know you're there move.
Yeah. Just so you think I haven't forgotten about you.
Just so you know. So 1-1 the count. No outs. We're in the top of the third on a warm afternoon here in North Little Rock. Blocked by Holland. Count goes to 2-1.
Good job. He's returning the favor for Cover.
Yep. There you go. You know, Sean Cover's another one we might see on the mound today. Stewart throws over to first.
I keep thinking that was his second throw to first. Now he can't throw there anymore, but that's the major league rule.
Pitch is up high, and the count goes to 3-1, and Fayetteville trying to get the first two batters on board. Now Coach Harden is thinking about what his next pitching move might be. Should he need to bring in Wanamaker, or at what point do you consider that? Just 10 pitches yesterday. It's going to be hit to the right side and a base hit. Runner will have to hold at second, and does. But two on board with nobody out. The third hit of the ball game for Fayetteville. And to the plate will be Landon Holzhauer.
Through the infield, gets runners to first and second base. No outs on the board. Now batting for Fayetteville, number 4, Landon Holzhauer.
Holzhauer was hit by a pitch first inning.
That's where the other one came in. Last time these two teams met in the state tournament 10 years ago. That's going to be a pitch that's inside. He's not indicating anything. I think that Holzhauer thought he was hit by it. That's interesting because, I mean, he moved out in front of Holland.
Yeah.
To me, it kind of feels as equally as interfering as what got Kortsmeyer called out going to second. But
these guys got more stuff in their back pocket. I mean, he's got a towel. He looks like a center out there.
So 10 years ago yesterday, the state semifinals at Fayetteville, Conway won 3-2. And as you alluded to earlier, in a controversial ending to that game. That's the last time these two teams met in state tournament play. All right, runners now at second and third. The count is 1-0 to Holzhauer. That pitch is outside.
Everything's tailing out.
Yeah, he's got that lefty break.
Mm-hmm.
Got to learn to start it a little closer to the plate.
Holland's everything was moving inside. These are moving all out. Just it'd be inside on left-handed batter. So.
All right, everybody resets here. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. Runners at second and third for Fayetteville. And that's going to get away from Holland. That'll score a run. Conway finding themselves now down 2-0. With nobody out and a runner in scoring position at third.
Need to get something to fire them up just a little bit. They're down out there.
It's going to be fouled back here to the fence.
I'm sure, though, if you're the coach from Fayetteville, you don't want to poke the giant because they can put some runs on the board.
Yeah, I think what he wants to do is try to manufacture as much insurance as he can possibly get out of the bank. That's going to be outside for ball 4. Now bases runners at the corners, and Coach Harden looks like he's going to be making a move.
Cicero's going now.
So Silas Cicero looks like he's going to be making the move, and Thomas Ford will come into play the field. So we will have a pitching change when we come back after this. Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5 of the EAB Sports Network.
The community of Conway continues to be
Boy,
committed
we've been
to the
struggling
Wampus
a little bit
Cats.
from the mound.
Just as Centennial is committed to our customers. Perseverance,
thing is just
commitment,
hotter than a firecracker.
and resilience are key ingredients for success. Whether you are cheering on the Wampus
Dip in
Cats,
there.
starting a new business, or planning for the future, Centennial is here for all of life's moments.
whole person. Yeah. And then never do anything conventional.
Not in time. And now, is that Cover in the dirt, or is that?
Yeah.
No, I think that's Cicero in the dirt who comes up a little banged up.
You took that ball off the shin.
(3-2) the count, and we're having a injury consultation out at second base as Silas Cicero, who's playing second base in his rotation right now.
Been a lot of moving parts out there for the Wampus Cats today.
So far, they haven't found the right combination, though. And Cicero kind of stretch out that leg. I think what happened, too, not only, I mean, that throw from Holland was on a rope. And I don't think that got more than about 3 or 4 feet off the ground. And I think when he tried to make that catch, that his leg kind of got caught behind him and he slid across that bag and maybe kind of jammed it. At the same time, he may have hit him. Or he may have even gotten a cleat into the.
I was thinking, a lot of things can happen out there when that dust flies up.
There'd be a lot of reasons why that is. So. He shakes it off. It's going to stay out there for the Wampus Cats. Or say that he is. He's got his glove still under his arm. Actually, I think we may have another pitching change. I think that Sean Cover may be going on to the rubber.
Hitting a full count, huh?
Nothing like pressure. So Sean Cover will go to the mound. The question is, does that mean Malik will go to shortstop? As Ford will go to third. I know, we just have to wait and see where they, because I think normally Cicero would be the shortstop, and I'm just questioning after his little injury thing there, if that would be the call. So anyway, lots of intrigue.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Pitching change for Conway. Now pitching number 18, Sean
Cover. All together, all those Cat fans over there in the stands. Cover.
He'll know his name one day.
Yeah. All right, so Sean Cover will come in and here at a 3-2 count. Thomas Ford does go to third. Cicero does go to shortstop, and Malik Simpson moves over to second base. And again, a 3-2 count to Tanner Davison.
That's a great way to come in and get on the mound.
Yeah. No pressure, but you got to throw a
None,
strike here.
Bud.
It's like you got one pitch right here.
Still hot.
Huh?
Still hot.
I know it. It's crazy. We're okay for now, so we'll take what we got. All right. 3-2 the count. Nobody out. Runner at second. 4 already across. And down the first base with a walk will go Tanner Davison. So that'll bring to the plate the number 8 hitter, Jade Reyna.
Runners at first and second base. Now batting number 11, Jude Reyna.
Excuse me, Jude Reyna. Hey, Jude. All right, so nobody out. Runners at first and second. Shows the bunt, drops the bunt, but fouls it. So 5-0 the score. Conway trailing here in the top of the third after giving up 4 and still looking for the first out of the inning. With runners at first and second. Again, the bunt shown. Pitches inside this time. Hits ball.
Be nice if we get a bunt right back to pitcher and get the guy out at third.
It'd be nice.
Need something to stir it up just a touch.
St. Joe now up 3-0 in the bottom of the fifth. And laid down the third base line. Only play is at first, and that's where the out goes. The runners advance to second and third, but that becomes the first out of the inning.
They put that in a great spot right there.
Out and advances runners to second and third base for Fayetteville. Now batting number 21, Carter.
We'll put you on the radio if you sit here.
All right, so the number 9 hitter, Carter Morris, will come to the plate. Conway trailing by a score of 5-0. Hit hard and drops for a 2-run double. Been mishandled a little bit, but Malik gets over to it, so. Right now, Fayetteville rolling here with a big inning in the third. Now, Jeff, let's go back to yesterday. A big inning by Catholic. They scored 7 and then did not score anything else in the ball game. Conway came back to win 12-7. So we know the bats are there.
Absolutely. They've just got to, play good baseball, good fundamental baseball and get back in the game. Don't, chase a lot of pitches. They've eliminated the margin of error at this point.
First pitch from Cover's up high for ball 1. 7-0 the score. Fayetteville on top with 6 here in the top of the third. That pitch is outside. So we've seen Max Holland, we've seen Thomas Ford, we've seen London Stewart, and now Sean Cover, the 4th pitcher of the day for Conway here, and we're only in the top of the third. That's hit hard to the right side. That'll score a run as they'll send him in. And it's an 8-0 lead now for Fayetteville. Just good contact from Pascal there. And
line drive single through the infield brings in another run.
that'll bring Landon Schaefer to the plate.
He just hit that the other way into the hole where there wasn't anybody, and that was a good hitting.
Landon Schaefer.
So 8-0 the score. If there's any offense that in 6A that can overcome that, it is the Wampus Cat offense. But right now, you've got to get the defense to shut this down. 7 hits in the ball game, 8 runs. 1 out here in the third, and that's going to be another base runner. Sean Cover. It's Landon Schaefer. Is that his 2nd hit by pitch today?
Yes, it is. That's why the hand gesture, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But, this situation, you're not hitting anybody on purpose.
No.
Batter is hit by the pitch and takes first base.
Max Holland's going to go out and talk to Sean Cover for a moment. Trying to settle him in. A couple of juniors that'll be back to lead the Wampus Cats again next season. But let's see what we can do to get back on top of this one. And Coach Harden's going to be making another move, and it's going to be Mr. Wanamaker. So pitching change again for Conway here in the top of the third. Back after this on the EAB Sports Network.
On
On Friday, April 11th of this year, I finished my first year driving a GB70 from Genesis of Conway. So, what's the big deal? It's this. It's the Craig O'Neill Anniversary Sale at Genesis of Conway. To celebrate 1 year of driving the 2024 GB70, you're invited to come in and learn how you can get a 2025 for as low as $497 a month. Yes, $497 a month. Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today.
Configuring the Bluetooth, deciding who controls the music, remembering where you parked. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your vehicle doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like remembering if you're on the 3rd or 4th level of the parking garage. That's simple human sense.
Call the Ferris Agency in Conway today at 501-329-1221 for all of your insurance needs.
Now, back to the Centennial Bank broadcast of Conway Wampus Cat Sports, driven by Genesis of Conway on Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5.
Jeff Wick switches pins, and Wampus Cats switch pitchers. So Nate Wanamaker, the sophomore who has been sensational for Conway this year. I know that Coach Harden would have liked to have saved him to come in to hold or protect the lead, but right now he's just trying to get some outs and get the offense a chance to get back up here and see what they can do.
Yeah, you don't want to be going home with your big horse in the bullpen.
No.
No.
Especially when you got a week to.
Yeah. Close to a week. We don't know when the
That's true.
finals would be. It could be Thursday. All right, so Wanamaker is warmed up. Home plate umpire has said, all right, let's circle it up and let's go. Everybody back to their positions on the infield. Bring the pitcher to, or the batter to the plate. So 7 across here in the top of the 3rd inning. And still just 1 out.
With 1 out on the board and runners at first and second base for Fayetteville.
3 hit by pitch and 4 walks. That's this inning or this ball game? That's the ball game.
That's the game.
Okay, yeah. Feels like we've been here since Thursday, just in this inning. All right, so here we go. Nate Wanamaker on the bump, coming in relief. Blocked by Holland. Ball 1.
3 of those walks were this inning, and all 3 of them scored.
I think everybody scored here in this 3rd inning.
Yeah.
And that's going to be hit right back up the middle, and another one will plate. So send the runner. And coming in to score from second base is Pascal. And it's a 9 spot on the board. 8 here in the 3rd inning. That's just a good base hit there.
Yeah, he just hit that right back where it came from.
Now batting for Fayetteville, number 4, Landon Holtzhauer.
So Landon Holtzhauer will come to the plate. Again here in the 3rd inning. Wanamaker looks in. Runner still to first and second, still just 1 out. Trying to get a double play ball. And the cleanup hitter, Holtzhauer.
He has been hit by a pitch and walked.
There's the inside strike call.
He's
1-1 to count.
He's a catcher. He's tough enough. He can be hit by a pitch. He's all right.
1-1 the count, 1 out. Runners at first and second. Pitches outside. Holland out there to cover it. 9-0 our score. Top of the third inning. 8 of those runs coming here in the third. Again, Holland blocks a pitch down low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Wampus Cats got out of danger in the first inning with a remarkable double play that seems like it was 5 hours ago. And that's in there for strike 2. Don't think Hosauer liked that call.
No.
No, and you'd think as a catcher you'd want to try to show up your umpire like that.
It'll keep him on your good side for sure.
Full count pitch. Hit hard, but to center field and does not make the catch. Can't squeeze it. London Stewart was there, but just couldn't. Got the glove on him, but just couldn't squeeze it. It was a ball that was dying, and he had to really go for it. And actually, I say that's Willie Boss out in center field. Sean Cover has moved to first base. I didn't see after this last rotation where everybody went. Cover is at first base because you want to keep his bat in, of course.
Anything that can and everything is going wrong right now for the Wampus Cats.
Yeah. Because Ashcraft's here.
Yeah. Brissy came up. He hit the home run last inning, or this inning.
Swing and a miss.
I think he's trying to top it right there with that swing.
Nine nothing to score. Bases loaded. 1 out of the inning. Conway desperately in need of a double play. New baseball. Maybe that's what we needed. I think that's finally cooled off. Pitch on the outside corner misses. Count goes to 2-1. Not sure where that missed.
Right now, he's squeezing.
Yeah, Fayetteville don't need any help.
No. 2-1 pitch. That's going to be outside for ball 3. You don't want to give Brissy something to hit, but you also don't want to walk in what would potentially be a deciding run. And it wouldn't decide things here in the third. We will play 5 regardless, but if you want to stop them leading, not let them get to that 10-run mark. There's a swing and a miss. I think he was swinging for the fences on that.
Well, he took a little off that one, and I think we talked about earlier in this game. I think overthrowing right now. I think Conway just needs to play Conway baseball and get back in this game.
Full count. The pitch. It's going to be hit hard to right field. Will be caught for the second out of the inning, but the runner will score from third. Trying to get, they do get the runner in position to third base. It'll be runners at the corners now with 2 outs. And it's a 10-0 lead.
Sack fly puts a second out on the board and moves runners to the corners.
So that'll bring to the plate
now batting for Fayetteville,
again.
number 1, Charlie Graves.
Charlie Graves comes to the plate.
Now you have to find yourself at some point, you know, with a game like this, you hate to know you have to get a run or 2 over to extend play, but like you said, we will play 5, so.
Which means you don't have to get them all back in once. And here's the other thing, too. I mean, yes, Brissy's been hitting. Throw down to first. The second is not in time. Malik has it to make sure that the runner's not trying to come in home. But now 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. But Brissy hasn't been on the mound in about 40 minutes.
No, he might be a little, he's stoved up over there.
Of course, he did hit a home run, and so he ran. So it's not like he's just been sitting. catches the strike zone for strike one.
Boy, Holland bounced out of that catcher's box back there. Watermaker better have his head on a swivel.
That's going to be hit to the right side. Will it stay in? Nope, can't make it a catch in left field or in right field. I'm checking to see who's even out there. That is Carter Crow. I say that only because there's been so many changes. We've got Willie Voss in center field. Blake Kornsmeyer in left field. Thomas Ford at third. Silas Cicero at short. Ken Brown at second. And Sean Cover at first. One ball, two strikes, two outs. Pitch is inside, ball two.
We need just a touch of luck right here.
Just a bit. Would be nice. Two-two to count, two outs. Runners at second and third. That's going to be hit sharply down the right side. Foul.
He fought that one off.
So Graves will come back up here again with a 2-2 count, two outs, runners at second and third for the Bulldogs. Leading now 10-0. Yeah, he did. All day. So the strikeout ends the inning, but 9 cross, and we go to the bottom of the third with a 10-0 lead for Fayetteville. Back after this on the EAB Sports Network.
The community of Conway continues to be committed to the Wampus Cats, just as Centennial is committed to our customers. Perseverance, commitment, and resilience are key ingredients for success. Whether you are cheering on the Wampus Cats, starting a new business, or planning for the future, Centennial is here for all of life's moments. Let us be your partner. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Everything is so expensive these days. Your phone, pickleball lessons, Netflix subscription, but not your car payment at Chris Crane Hyundai in Conway. You'll get America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles, and Hyundai assurance. And they have new Hyundais for less than you're spending on those private pickle tennis lessons.
During the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, get a new Elantra as low as $299 a month or a new Tucson as low as $399 a month. The Chris Crane Hyundai in Conway. Visit ChrisCraneHyundai.com.
Now, back to the Centennial Bank broadcast of Conway Wampus Cat Sports, driven by Genesis of Conway on Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5.
All right, welcome back here as we go to the home half of the third. Mark Brissy back out on the mound, but Conway got to get something going here. Going to have to get it going with the 8-9-1 hitters.
Well, Jay, you said it. You ain't going to get them back all in one inning. Let's just peck at it a little bit and get a few here and there, and then we'll get back to the top of the lineup.
You still got 5 innings to go. You just, just got to get a few.
All right, so Silas Cicero will try to get things started here for the Wampus Cats in the bottom of the third inning. Trailing now 10-0. First pitch up high and out of the zone.
And that ball has what you call carry. You see the last about 6 feet of it?
Yep.
And same one on that one.
And that I think is going to be interesting to see how Brissy responds after not being out on the mound and throwing for quite a while.
Ooh.
3 in a row, well out of the zone.
I like the way he's responding right now.
Yep. Yeah. Now the question goes is how much rope does he have on him with a 10-0 lead? Down to first base with a 4-pitch walk to lead things off for the Wampus Cats here in the bottom of the third side of Cicero. Got to bring Malik Simpson to the plate.
For Conway, number 1, Malik Simpson.
The senior will come to the plate. Now playing second base for Conway. Started off at third. 5 pitches in a row, all of them out of the zone. Gives Malik Simpson a 1-0 advantage. That pitch is the first strike of the inning.
That's Conway Fayetteville talked him into that strike right there.
1-1 the count. Malik Simpson at the plate for Conway. Hits the ball hard, but to right field and easily under it for out number 1.
Between that one and the one Voss hit, that's about the only 2 that's been hit for Conway.
Yeah.
Brissy's only at the 30-pitch mark.
Now batting for Conway, number 23.
So Thomas Ford will come to the plate. Back up to the top of the lineup for Conway. Runner at first. 1 out in the inning. Ford looks at a call, first strike. And you want to get into him on pitch count, but man, you got to make something happen too. That goes to inside for ball 1.
And you got to get in and say, look, I'm looking for 1 pitch right now. If it's not there, I'm not swinging.
1-1 the count. Runner at first. That's out of the zone, ball 2. He got some fire on that pitch.
Base runners, base runners.
He's issued 3 walks this game, 1 per inning.
Swing and a miss by Ford. The thing Ford does not do a lot of, and that's strike out. Pretty disciplined batter at the plate. See what he does with a 2-2 pitch.
Yeah.
Looks at it. Gets called out on strikes.
Twice today for him.
So Sean Cover.
With the runner at first base, now batting for Conway, number 18, Sean Cover.
So Sean hopefully knocked the cover off the ball right here. Comes to the plate for Conway. And that's going to be in there for strike 1. Sean Cover with that Cobra twist. Down 0-1. Fouls that one back here to the backstop.
Great on that one.
Almost behind 0-2. Runner at first. 2 outs in the inning. Sean Cover at the plate for the Wampus Cats. Pitch is outside.
He's got a little juice behind those. He sounds like a slow. Yeah, he sounds like a slow pitch softball player trying to hit 1 out.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner at first for Conway. Down 10-0 here in the bottom of the third. Swung out and strikes out Sean Cover. Got to end the inning. Wampus Cats leave a runner on board. We go to the top of the fourth, down 10-0. Back after this on the EAB Sports Network.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's red hot deal time at Haynes Ace Hardware in Conway and Morrilton. The best barbecue in town is at Haynes Ace Hardware. Everything you need for the perfect barbecue. Grills, supplies like grilling pellets, seasonings, and more. Get your yard and landscape ready with mulch. Ace Rewards members save $1.60 per bag on Scotch Naturescape Color Enhanced Mulch. Now 3 bags for $9.99. Get spring and summer ready at Haynes Ace Hardware in Morrilton and Conway. Haynes Ace Hardware, the helpful place.
Conway Regional has been the community's hospital for 100 years, providing high-quality, compassionate care. As our community continues to grow, we're growing alongside you to ensure all of your healthcare needs are met right here in Conway. When your family needs emergency care, you can trust our board-certified providers and exceptional team of nurses to provide you with the comprehensive care you deserve when you need it most. When you're facing an emergency, trust the care you'll find down the hallway, not down the highway. At Conway Regional, we're not just growing, we're growing together.
Now, back to the Centennial Bank broadcast of Conway Wampus Cat Sports, driven by Genesis of Conway on Cat Country 98.9 and 92.5.
All right, we return here to the top of the fourth inning, and Conway not able to get anything going in the bottom of the third. Left the base runner, and Nate Wanamaker will come back out on the bump here to try to shut down the Bulldogs here in the top of the fourth, leading by a score of 10-0. If ever you needed a 1-2-3, now is the time.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be a, little bit of a motivational deal for them to just, don't allow any runs. 1, 2, 3. Let's get out of here and get back to bat.
Can't score on defense. Not in this sport.
Number 34, Tanner Davison.
Tanner Davison will come to the plate to lead things off here for Fayetteville in the top of the fourth inning. Winner will play the winner of the Rogers and Harbor game that will follow this one. Conway, the last 6A Central team left in the tournament. First pitch down low, ball 1. Check swing and also a strike, regardless. Pitch right in there. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Wanamaker starting to get a little bit of a groove.
I'd like to start an inning without letting the leadoff batter get on base.
That would be sweet. Be a start. Pitch from Wanamaker.
Nice pitch.
Oh. Where was that?
I'm not really sure.
Wow, he's not either.
And they're going to call that one down low, and the count goes full.
Yeah, sometimes as a catcher, you're better off just catch it where you catch it in one spot and hold it. If you move your glove toward the plate, umpire's thinking, well, that pitch was outside.
Yeah.
That one found out of play.
You can frame a little bit too much.
Yeah. All right, count remains full after the foul. Wanamaker trying to give the leadoff man out for the first time today, but that pitch well outside. A little egotistical flip of the bat there, too. So again, the leadoff man on board for Fayetteville.
Number 11, Jude Reyna.
So Jude Reyna will come to the plate. Good time for the pitcher's best friend right here.
You bet.
Reyna hitting from the left side. Davison with a bit of a lead. Wanamaker's pitch is outside for ball one.
I think he tried to overthrow that in just a touch.
With the freedom to run with a 10-run lead. That's in there for a strike. Nice pitch by Wanamaker. 10-0 the score. Fayetteville on top. We're in the top of the fourth inning. Fayetteville with 9 runs and back in the third to open this thing up. Pitched inside. 2-1 the count.
We can't get them to chase.
That's the advantage of having a big lead. You don't have to go up there and try
exactly.
to do anything. A lot of psychology in that aspect of it. There's the strike call, and the count goes to 2-2. Two and two to count. Runner at first, nobody out. Top of the fourth inning. Conway trailing. 2-2 pitch. High to the left side and out of play. Two the count, nobody out. Runner at first. Davidson with the leadoff walk down there at first base. Reyna hits that one hard to right field, and Carter Crow squeezes it for out number one. I believe that's still Carter Crow out there.
I think it is.
I think it is.
Line drive to right field gets the first out on the board. With a
So that'll bring
first base,
Carter Morris.
Now batting for Fayetteville, number 21, Carter Morris.
Morris, the number 9 hitter. To the plate. First pitch in there for a strike. Nice break on that pitch there by Wanamaker. Well, outside in. Lines up. It's going to be fouled off to the left side, and Morris finds himself down 0-2. Oh, 2 to count. Runner at first, one out. Nate Wanamaker on the bump for the Wampus Cats. Came on in relief in the third. There's the strikeout. Second out of the inning.
Had him chasing that one right there.
Now batting for Fayetteville, number 5,
Ken Pascal will come to the plate here for the Bulldogs. Runner at first, 2 outs. Pascal patiently waits. Now he'll. I'm not sure what that was.
Did he just tell him he has to engage with the hitter?
Yeah.
Since when is that a high school rule?
I don't know.
Good throw down to the bag, but Holland and Cover can't connect for the out at first.
I don't see a pitch clock out here anywhere.
Me neither. I think he's just tired of being in the heat.
Yeah, I think he's got
dance plans tonight or something. The 1-0 pitch from Wanamaker. Foul back here to the fence. 1-1 the count.
Dude, what that breeze felt good a while ago. Now it's kind of sticky.
The flag is dead out there in center field. Wasn't the case yesterday.
Nope. A lot different conditions today than yesterday. Inside pitch, ball 2. Well, that's yours. It's like I was hearing another ball game in the background, and I was like, where's that coming from?
I thought I had it muted.
I thought I had mine muted.
Mine is muted.
We hit down the third baseline, foul. So Conway St. Joe is headed to the state finals next weekend with a 3-2 win. So congratulations to those Bulldogs. We're not going to congratulate these Bulldogs.
No.
Conway St. Joe headed to Conway. Going to be hit foul again out of play.
I'll take a man by surprise. I'm watching over here, waiting to listen to it, and it dropped right here in front of.
I know. I was kind of like, huh? That had a lot of English on it, I guess. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, runner at first. Leadoff man Kim Pascal at the plate for Fayetteville. Top of the 4th inning. Fayetteville on top by 10.
Got it.
This time they.
Oh!
I mean, he was right there looking at it, but man.
It beat him there. Now, I don't know if he got the tag, but it beat him there.
Yeah, that's the thing is the throw beat him, but did he actually get the tag on him? All the dust that flew up, it was really hard to tell.
Yeah. All right, so the count now 3-2. And that's going to be a fair ball. If it got past 4, that'll score another run. I don't think he touched third base. I'm going to be honest. The way he rounded that bag, I don't think he touched it. But
he didn't touch the plate because he just went back and touched it.
Yeah.
2 outs on the board, and now
So,
number 24,
leadoff man with a double down the left field line that got past Thomas Ford, kind of handcuffed him. It's now made it an 11-0 lead. With 2 outs and a runner at second. At the plate, Schaefer. Good blocked by Holland. Not been the Wampus Cats day yet. We'll see what they can do, but got to get out of this inning right now. Max Holland will lead things off for the Wampus Cats in the bottom of the 4th. That's going to be fouled out of play. New baseballs coming in.
Oop. They won't get them pants dirty. He's
All right, so here we go. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner at second. One already across for Fayetteville here in the top of the 4th. Wanamaker sets and fires.
Oh, that hit bone right there.
Another hit batter.
Is that the 3rd time he's been hit?
Schaefer.
Yes, it has.
Schaefer for the 3rd time today, hit by pitch. He just wants to know, is there a whirlpool bath in that bus headed back today?
That's the fourth hit batter, 5 walks.
2 outs are on the board. Runners at first and second base.
Too many opportunities, and Fayetteville has cashed in on most of them here today.
Yeah, they have to take advantage, that's for sure.
That didn't hit nothing but bone. I heard that up here.
De Lamar comes to the plate, the number 3 hitter, with runners at first and second and 2 out. Timeout called by the batter here. Goes through his breathing exercises. Now steps back in. Foul at the plate. 0-1 the count. Oh, 0-1 the count, 2 outs, runners at first and second. So actually the question, then he sent him back. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What the?
Wow.
That's interesting. Exchange. 0-1 the count. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. De Lamar. Hit high, should be catchable by Sean Cover, and it is for the 3rd out of the inning. 1 run crosses, though, 2 left, and after 3.5, it's now 11-0 Fayetteville. Back after this on the EAB Sports Network.
Tired of hearing no? Come join the Yes Party at Chris Crane Hyundai in Conway, where they say yes to new Hyundais loaded with technology, plus America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles, and Hyundai Assurance. All for less per month than your cell phone bill. You've got to check it out.
During the Hyundai Getaway